Welcome everybody, Sci-Fighter here. We are back with the Vassal League Deep Core Top 4. We're looking at a match against Vanderlegion with Paul Heaver. And I am joined again by my good brother Jeremy. Jeremy, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I am excited about today's match. Looking forward to this second of the semifinals. We know who's going ahead to the finals, but this will make that setup complete here once we finish the game. So I'm excited about that. Taking place actually tomorrow, yes, on Wednesday. So looking forward to that final.
Alright, so this is a previously recorded match due to some scheduling conflicts. We weren't able to stream this live as it's happening, but both Jeremy and I have not watched the log file, kept our eyes away from results and things like that. So we don't know how this game is going to go, but I am excited to see what's going to happen. So Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and read P. Heaver's list? Let us know what's going down there.
Definitely. We've got an Imperial list, and this one has Darth Vader, Quick Draw, and Major Vermeil in one of the TIE Reapers. We're seeing a lot of Reapers here all over the place in store championships and everywhere. It's a great ship. So let me start with that actually on this list. We've got Vermeil, who's one of those pilots that really is able to do a lot of awesome things on offense. He doesn't need any actions on offense because of his ability, which gives him the chance to change a blank or an eyeball focus result into a hit, so he gets to do that automatically.
Yeah, a lot of people are liking Vermeil right now. They're kind of on the Vermeil train until the end of first edition.
Well, he's such a powerhouse as far as attacking goes. If you keep guns on a target, he's going to put damage through. They're going to have to spend a lot of mods, but the thing is, he's going to take those modifications away with the jam token, and so his goal here in this list is to jam people up, make sure he can modify his dice for the attacks, and also he carries Krennic, which is another big card. Krennic, for those that don't know, it has the optimized prototype piece, which basically gives another ship the optimized prototype. So he's going to choose either Vader, Quick Draw, and you never know. I mean, you could choose yourself. I mean, he could put it on Vermeil as well.
Actually, can't do Quick Draw with as it's a first order
that's right.
ship.
Thank you.
So
yeah,
it's
definitely
probably going
to
be Vader, but it could be Vermeil.
He could actually. I've seen that in the past. I've seen people put it on themselves, and basically what that does is it gives that ship that you put it on, the optimized prototype, a chance to take away a shield if they have one. So, let's say you roll a blank, you just take that blank and plink a shield off before any evade dice are rolled, and then you can still possibly put even more damage through. So I'm interested to see how he uses Krennic. If he throws it on Vader, which most likely I feel like that's going to happen. And it's your standard Vader build out, except no engine upgrade. So that's an interesting choice. Being able to fit Quick Draw and Darth Vader with Vermeil gets pricey. Yeah. So Paul Heaver made some really interesting choices to try and slim those guys down, but still make them potent. They're still going to be really potent on the battlefield there. One neat thing about Quick Draw, as he maybe was thinking about facing some Reapers, he doesn't really need too many modifications. He's got expertise instead of VI, so that gives him a chance to modify those dice on attacks, and then he's got fire control system, so he can keep doing that. We'll see what happens in the game, but that's a good choice I think he made to be able to still make modifications even if he gets jammed up. What about your list you're thinking about?
Alright, so I've got Vanderlegion's list pulled up right here, and we're starting off with Whisper. He's got Veteran Instincts, Director Krennic, Sensor Jammer, Advanced Cloaking Device, and he's backed up by 2 Reapers. One, Captain Pharaoh, Adaptability, Courier Droid Lightweight Frame, some ISB Slicer action, and Advanced Aileron Title. And the Scarif-based pilot, the only generic out of the TIE Reaper, ISB Slicer, the ailerons, and courier droid, as well as lightweight frame. So trying to beef up those Reapers, get them a little bit of extra defense with the extra attack die that's going to trigger here every shot, as the Reaper comes with a native 1. So boost up to 2. Captain Pharaoh, let's see here. When he defends, when the attacker's jammed, he adds an evade result, and with all the jam that he's got going on with the ISB Slicers and the 2 Reapers, there's going to be
everywhere.
There's going to be jam tokens, so he'll be able to be defensive and stay alive to keep on jamming. Let's see, some of the cost savings. We've got courier droids afoot in this list as well, trying to just get a 0-point upgrade. It helps you place towards the end of the order if you would like, but otherwise irrelevant. And those ISB Slicers, another new piece, so when you jam, you can choose another ship at range 1 of that ship, including itself if it's not already jammed. And
that's the powerful thing right there. I mean, the fact that you can have an Inquisitor or something like that, or even a Darth Vader that's tokened up, you're able to jam them, and then you jam them again. You strip all those tokens they just stacked on themselves.
Well, and especially with a double action ship like Darth Vader, right? He's dependent on his target lock. He needs to have that to really get his attacks going strong, and then quick draw as well, kind of wanting to have that fire control system be triggering. He doesn't need the focus, but he does want it for defense. Try to mitigate some of the shield damage, keep it down to 1 a turn if he can. And then Vader also with the maybe evade focus combo with his double actions from his ability. All that can be negated by some good jams. So if you can fly your Reapers properly, you can jam anything range 1 around the Reaper itself, and then on top of that, if it's in your firing arc, you can jam out to range 2. So with 2 of them, you just really double up that effectiveness of the jam action. Whisper, probably going to be taking Krennic and that advanced prototype that you were talking about on itself, being able to plink those shields off, not have to worry about your blank dice. Sensor Jammer, trying to keep her alive to do the damage. A lot of people.
And why did they go to Sensor Jammer over Fire Control System? What's the reason for that? Because usually that's what you see on a
Krennic being
ship like that.
Krennic is going to be giving the Phantom target lock after its attacks anyway, so you already have that built-in fire control. So now it's the choice between advanced sensors to get some extra maneuverability and try to decide where you need to be during the engagement phase when you're actually starting to move. Brings it back a little bit to that pre-Phantom nerf era where it was able to look at the situation when she activates and make a decision from there if you need a barrel roll or not. You can actually like decloak 2 away from the base and barrel roll back in, and your base ends up basically exactly next to where you started. So it's a little bit crazy where you can get with that, but so a lot of people have been opting for that, but Vanderlegion here going with Sensor Jammer, just changing hit results into focus all day, and if he can be keeping those focus dice off the other ships, quick draw excluded, that's really going to help Whisper stay alive here.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's get into the match. Let's get in turn 0 here.
So let's see here. We're going to go ahead and start skipping through. Pheaver taking the left side. So we will see what happens with the rocks. How do you think with the Reapers, where do you want the rocks placed? Are you going to want them tight? Are you going to want them clustered up, or more spread out?
Well, I mean, which list are you thinking about? For any of them?
Just a Reaper in general. I mean, it's got those ailerons to think about, so it's got to think about its tight spaces a little bit, because it's got to take that boost like maneuver.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I mean, you can cluster those rocks up, and it doesn't phase it too much. The one thing that people forget is that I mean, it's a brand new ship, but the Reaper has a stop
Mm-hmm.
which also shuts off ailerons. So if you are looking ahead a turn or two, you can actually stress yourself on purpose. I know you're trying to jam, but if you're looking for a good spot on the board to stay, you could do that and be able to stay put. The other cool thing that these have is they have a one sloop. So I mean, you can actually fight inside those rocks with the Reapers pretty well. So,
Okay.
and we're seeing on the board a little bit of what I was kind of thinking is that, just jam it up in the center, and kind of see where you want your opponent to go, where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think either of these guys are going to be too afraid of getting in the rocks,
Yeah. It's
or
just
or
something
maybe
to think
trying to
about.
bait their player.
Yeah, because that aileron move is actually treated as a maneuver, not a boost. So you can land yourself on a rock if you're not careful. So you have to think about that when you start getting into the asteroids here.
The good thing is you can actually go through that. I saw that in a store championship match recently, where a guy aileroned onto the rock and knew he was going to go through it on his next move. So still was able to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get to jam, but
Yeah.
it's still it's a valid option. I mean, you're going to take a damage, but they're pretty beefy.
All right. Looks like we're
Got the
getting
little
squared
mustache
away.
going in
Yeah.
vertical there.
Yeah, and so they've got this like pyramidal kind of shape coming out from the right
Mhm.
side. Sometimes I'll use this as like kind of a shield for my guys if I'm the player on the right. Try to use it to try to keep the bad guys at bay, and use it to my advantage. All right, Heaver's setting up his boys on the left. And both of their setup orders are a little bit weird with the courier droids, but it looks like they're both opting to use that courier droid to place as late as they can at 8.
Which ends up being as early as possible.
Ends up being the first ships to be placed anyway.
Yeah.
But with Heaver having initiative, he has to place first.
Yep, so we got Vermeil going down there in the bottom corner on the left side of the screen. See where the other Reapers are going to go here.
I imagine they'll probably want to stay together as a squad. Vader, especially not having that access to the boost without the engine upgrade, he's going to want to stick with his squad mates, as he can't come around and flank real fast as people are used to.
We got the Reapers in the top right corner for Vanderlegion. We got a setup here where they're both in opposite corners. How do you see this playing out as far as the opening engagement? Are they going to want to just kind of circle the board a little bit here? Who's going to kind of try to turn in early? I mean, there are a couple lanes that they could try to use as an option. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at this from Vanderlegion's point of view, and Whisper's gonna move in, cloak, and then you could break her off, fly her on her own. She can be unpredictable. A lot of players can have a hard time keeping up with where she might end up. I'm sure Heaver's had enough experience that he can catch her if he's thinking about it, but you also can have those Reapers go around and flank. So looking at this, I would think that I think Vanderlegion kind of wants to swing around the rocks and come through towards the middle. You've got a Vader that's not as maneuverable without that boost. You've got Vermeil that has to be careful before she ailerons herself away from everybody else. But I think if you can break this formation up by bringing them to the rocks, you might be able to do a little bit more damage that way, and get your jams on a little bit of a focused target.
Well, let's see how this plays out here.
All right.
Got dials down, or going down.
I think they're still thinking through. Yeah, I'm thinking that the Vader quick draw, Heaver's gonna want to bring those guys, I would say, hard left and just come straight up the map, fight in that empty space. you don't want to spend a whole lot of time turning everybody around later. Vader especially, when you stress him out and quick draw, I mean, they're losing so much efficiency of not having their actions, expertise shutting off, so you're going to want some open space. You don't really want to mess around with those asteroids too much. Then again, both of these players in the deep core, so they know exactly what their plan is and what they want to do, where their strengths are.
I'm interested to see what their first target priority is here. I mean, so many juicy options. Are you okay trading Vermeil for a single ISB slicer on the other side?
Maybe if it's Furrow, but I wouldn't want to trade any ships until Whisper's gone.
Yeah,
that's a ship that you need to get off the board as soon as possible.
That's an endgame monster.
Yeah, you don't want to start a match, ignore her, because if she makes it to the end game, she can really solo any of the ships on Heaver's side. Looks like dials are down and ailerons are starting to trigger here. Coming right up that top edge of the map. Got the boost. Dial reveal for Furrow, and going actually kind of quick.
Okay. Maybe picking up a little bit of ground there.
Could be trying to go around, maybe set up a block for the Scarif base pilot, try to slow it down a little bit.
He sees that little lane at the top, kind of diagonal from the right side down.
Yeah, that was the first thing that caught my eye. Heaver actually starting off going straight, and then now breaking up.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, not keeping them together. Vermeil could be a flanker, and quick draw Vader together.
Another ship, really. I mean, Paul Heaver does have 3 aces. I know a lot of people wouldn't probably consider the Reaper to be an ace, but Vermeil really makes a good case to with the power and the punch that he can put out in attacks.
Whisper turning to engage on her own, looks like, getting that cloak off and going out to flank. Probably not expecting everybody to go down along the bottom, I don't think. We'll see if she reacts differently on the next round and gets out of there.
Well, and Quickdraw's in a great position. Quickdraw can do whatever ever he wants. He can continue following those guys down to the bottom, or keep going on his own as well.
And looks like we are going back to dials. No shots here.
I'm wondering if Paul's going to go ahead and just keep burning down that down towards the right, or if he's going to try to cut in on that little lane that's in the bottom between the very bottom asteroid and the little one above it. And then Quick Draw could feint, come back with those other ships.
Definitely could.
Or try to take those Reapers on all by himself.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Real Esmidi, welcome to the stream.
All right, welcome. You. Feel free to add in the chat as well. All right, let's see where our dials are at here.
You think Whisper goes down and engages with Vader and Vermeil, or does she need a break off?
I mean, I think there's nothing hurt in Whisper trying to keep going down, because Whisper can always come back and join those Reapers. It's pretty easy for that ship to just kind of cruise wherever it wants to go.
That's true.
And it goes pretty quick with that cloaking device. So I could see a case for both being made, but I'd probably keep going down straight a little bit. You got to get around that asteroid there. But he can cloak forward, decloak forward.
Yeah, exactly. So. Decloak forward, get a little bit of boost, and then you could even turn to the right, get out of there, if you're not feeling comfortable with that fight. Definitely want to be keeping all the tokens you can with Whisper. I mean, any damage coming through is
bad news.
Gets dangerous real fast. And Vader having that prototype, that gets nasty as well, because now that means Whisper, doesn't matter if she's cloaked or not, those shields are coming off one by one
and
if
then
needed.
exactly, and then you have a two-hull ship. It's pretty tough to withstand everything with that.
Yeah. That being said, 2 Reapers on quick draw. Quick draw doesn't have to worry about the jam token as far as the attack goes. Either quick draw can take those 2 ships.
I mean, definitely you have the bonus of getting a roll, and they're not Vermeil, so it's possible that you just plink off 1 shield there, and quick draw is like 2 ships, so you know you're getting 2 attacks there with expertise.
All right, we have
not to even if it's jammed, you know.
Dials down, decloak out, going forward like we were talking about. It was that or go just leave it cloaked and just slow it up a little bit, but decloaking forward. And actually makes that 1 bank with the ailerons.
Those ailerons are good.
I was actually thinking that might bump into it, and that might have been the purpose for Furrow going pretty quick.
I got a chance to fly with a buddy yesterday, and you know, try it again. Those Reapers, and that 1 bank is deceptive. Actually, it's pretty nice. That's an interesting
Reaper lining up
move,
right up with the rock.
I don't know. They got a 1 hard. I don't know if that's gonna clear that rock. It'll be close, maybe. But well, he's got an aileron anyways. Oh, not sure what that move is.
That was not positive either. He already ailerons and then went.
Just keep
as well,
going.
right?
Let's see.
Bank left. Let's see, what did he reveal? He reveals a left bank. Performed left bank.
Mm-hmm.
And
backing it up. Yeah, I think it was just probably just pushed the button there.
yeah, I think he was trying to get Furrow's ailerons going and was still on the wrong ship. Totally fine. That's why Vassal's great. You just undo and everything's perfectly positioned. You don't have to worry about bumping the table or trying to reset everything exactly where it should be.
Yep.
And Furrow again with another fast maneuver.
Interesting that he's going just straight through the rocks there, trying to cut off those aces.
And we're coming up to one of those things I was mentioning where you're bringing your Scarif base pilot in, and now there's no way around that rock. You can stall and do the stop maneuver like you were talking about before, but
you're not going to get any jam
one way or
off.
another, you're going to be hitting that rock because you've got to move at some point.
I would, if I... Well, we'll see where the other ships go, but I'd probably fly right through it this next turn. There's no reason to stop, lose out on 2 jam actions.
Yeah,
might as well just
I
lose
think
out on
even a straight aileron takes you onto that rock where you have to roll, and then your move takes you over the rock again. So taking a double risk there.
Yeah.
You have Vermeil aileroning to the left with the bank and going pretty quick. As fast as a Reaper can go, I suppose.
Well, it's pretty quick with when you get that aileron in there.
Oh yeah. A lot of people thought that the strikers were going to be pretty slow looking at the dials, but once they started using those ailerons, man, it's hard to keep them in check.
Yeah, they can get a lot of places really quick.
Quick
All right, and quick draw is turning in a little bit, so
coming up, joining the pack with a barrel roll, coming back into a little bit closer with the formation.
I mean, you know, Paul sees this next turn unfolding already, and I mean, you know, those Reapers have to come in that direction. I mean,
it's true.
There's, I mean, they could probably, with the ailerons, they could probably get around that big rock, but you're not going to get any action. So you got to come probably through that rock to get your jam off. But,
all right, and Vader catching back up with a Vermeil. Trying to target lock. I think out of range. Yep.
That's close though. That's close. This is gonna be a bloody next turn. I'll tell you that much. they will be in range.
Whisper might have a shot on Vermeil. We'll see. She didn't cloak, so she better know what she's doing. getting the barrel roll to get the target lock on Captain Furrow.
Yeah, hard when Whisper doesn't cloak because you don't have that extra repositioning.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what brought the Phantom down, is all the PS10s and 11s being able to make sure she doesn't get to cloak before they get a shoot.
Well, and you kind of have you have a little bit of that now with initiative on
That's
Paul's
true.
side. You got 2 ships that can hit her.
All right, we've got our first shot of the match. Vader on Captain Furrow.
No target, or no, he does get a target lock after the barrel roll.
Yeah, he barrel rolled target lock, so he does get to access that advanced targeting computer. Add that crit, and
plus you have a prototype on her. On him.
Range 3, 2 versus 2, 2 focus. No focus token, but you do have Krennic. Add the crit. Cancels the focus for a shield, and ooh, well, it is able to evade that crit, so only taking the 1 shields. Using the focus, and safe from the attack, but that auto Krennic damage. Really showing why a lot of people are scared of first edition Krennic.
Yeah.
And Whisper just out, so she won't be cloaking. So she's going to be pretty limited in what her options are going to be this next round. It's a tough call to make. It does. I was thinking that she might have a shot, but I probably would have cloaked just to be safe. It's hard though. It's a tough call to make. Real checking and also out.
But maybe, I mean, it's possible Vander doesn't want to cloak. You know, I mean,
very well could be.
You can still go 1 straight. You know, get that shot off and cloak there. But this is going to be an interesting next turn here. See if Vader takes any damage.
No tokens, so that's a great time to shoot. Range 3 though, so it's going to be 4 dice.
Yeah, but you still got 3.
But with a
naturals. Hello.
Natural roll like that is going to be great.
There's a possibility of that going
probably
through.
has a hard time evading everything. And
yep. 2 coming in.
If he had a focus token, but he went for that target lock. That didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
Either.
That makes sense.
2 shields. That's not great on your ace ship. And I would say that it's really who you need to survive there, because she out PS's Whisper.
Well, yeah. I mean, you kind of have a little bit of that with quick draw too, but sense of initiative matters.
That is true. All right, so we're going into round 3. They're cleaning up their tokens. Let's see. Scarif base pilot's gonna need to be shooting, so you definitely need to get off of that rock this turn. So I guess.
Well, you're gonna aileron probably. You're gonna probably aileron onto it. Maybe even a bank aileron.
I would say a bank and then a turn, just to help clear the asteroid itself.
Yeah.
But also not line yourself up to have to do it again with that next rock.
Yep. I see a lot of people. I don't know if it makes sense this turn, but there are a lot of folks that will aileron, you know, to the right or the left, and then they'll do like a 3 the opposite direction, and that makes that thing go pretty quick. So it just depends what positioning he's looking for here.
Let's see. I think everybody else's moves seem pretty simple. Quick draw and Vader probably gonna want to just slow things up a bit. The thing you have to worry about is that jam's gonna come into play possibly. At least Furrow can get up in there. The Scarif base pilot probably won't be able to jam this round, but gonna be hitting the rocks anyway. No actions, so that probably won't be an issue.
Now there's something you could do here. You could try to catch Whisper. I mean, you could just kind of cruise Vader and Vermeil just right up in front of Whisper there. Maybe get a range 1 shot or 2. Even get good quick draw in there. Try and pump as much damage as you can into Whisper.
Yeah, that's the gamble that I was talking about earlier with Whisper. If she didn't get a shot, if you were just out of range and it ended up being that way, now you can't cloak and you can't decloak is the biggest thing. So this next round, her slowest move forward anyway is a 2. And
Yep.
you need to be going towards the target so you have a shot, so you can cloak for those the ships that are going to be shooting after.
Mhm.
But it still gets dangerous with Vader coming in, like you're saying.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons I think the Scarif base pilot might want to do like maybe a one left bank, and then
Mhm.
a nice hard turn to come in and try to help cover Whisper.
Yeah.
Also, that move could clear that rock, and then after the actual maneuver, the hard turn is revealed, you'd be able to jam because you hit the rock on the aileron, which won't actually affect your action step.
Well, and Pharaoh here can just jam straight up in there. I mean,
Mhm.
a one straight followed by a three. You're right in jamming
Yeah, get in
range.
there, jam Vader.
Maybe jam one of the other guys if he's in range one. I don't think so. It's gonna be close, but
Vader being
it looked like there
a
might
bit
be
of the
two.
linchpin, I think, with out PSing Whisper and having Krennic on there. You want to get
Mhm.
Vader off the board, so I think you jump in there, you jam Vader up
Mhm.
with those ISB slicers. I think that's
Yeah,
the
because
way
you
to
can
go.
take the target. You can take the target lock off and throw a
Mhm.
jam token on him. Yeah.
Yeah, now he's got to burn another target lock action if he wants to have that crit result added in.
Mhm.
I think that's probably a safe way to go. Dials down for Heaver. Vanderlegion probably still kind of. What do I do with Whisper? That is my big question. I mean, do you run
Yeah.
or do you try to get a shot so you can cloak up? It's a tough call to make. You could hard turn
Mhm.
maybe to the right or to
Yep.
the left and then barrel roll away or
Cloak.
cloak.
Yeah.
But then I mean now you're not shooting with your Krennic ship.
Man, you got to have that 4 dice gun
Yeah,
going on these ships
it's your
here.
big gun. It's got Krennic on there, so you've
Mhm.
got auto damage coming in, and Vader's right there, so you want to be doing damage this round.
Mhm.
Because if you take too much in this next round, it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna be hard to get your ships back together as well.
Mhm. All right, we got dials down here.
There we go.
Let's see
Figured
what we
that
got.
out. And the
Okay,
aileron
there's the
bank
one
left.
bank.
So
Yep.
we're rolling for that.
Clears the I mean, like hits the rock with the turn, but is now past it already. I like that.
It went pretty far. That one bank is deceptively actually pretty fast. Does take a shield off the rock though,
Mhm.
but it won't be affecting the action step anymore. So
Nope.
it's a potential of a jam here. Takes a focus instead. Okay.
Could be past range too, but I guess he didn't
Yeah,
even check.
it probably is.
Didn't
But
even
I mean,
check though, so.
I think it's worth it to check.
Mhm. But maybe just wanted to go for the focus instead of the jam.
Could be trying to just pump that damage in. And Vermeil, not really worried about the modifications as much with that ability you were talking about with being able to just change those results.
Mhm.
Alright, Furrow gets in there, but unable to get the jam in, looks like. Oh, nope, still moving.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yep. Now we got it for Vader. I see the jam on Vader, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
See if Vader's in range one of
So
anybody
you take
else.
that target lock off, and then you... Yep,
Mhm.
there's the call.
Yep.
Jam Vader. Take that ISB triggers.
Put it
gives
right
him
back
that
on.
token. So now you have to go through with Vader and take an action just for free to burn that jam off, and then actually think about what single action Vader's going to want to do. Gets a little nasty.
Mhm.
Vermeil shooting up towards Whisper. Maybe trying to get a block. Went a little bit
We got
slow
a jam.
for it.
I think we got a jam coming for sure. Yeah, jammed in Whisper. Now
No.
can you reach? It doesn't look like he
No,
could reach
no
the other
ISB
one.
slicers in the other list, is there?
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're right. Yep.
Yeah, it had to go for that courier droid for that 0-point upgrade. And quick draw coming in. Hopefully not blocking Vader there.
Must be going
But,
fast.
But I think, well, probably just setting up for the next move. Probably sees something that he wants to do and needs to get that barrel roll in. But it does sacrifice the focus for defense if you need it.
Mhm. But again, you could be splitting fire too, which is something
That's-
that you always want to do next week.
That is true. Whisper barely clearing
Ooh,
with that
man.
3 right bank.
That is
That's-
a pretty slick move there.
It's a bit scary, but it was great move. Vermeil now won't have a shot.
You do have Quick Draw and Vader that both out PS Whisper at least before she can cloak again.
Clearing that jam token with the evade action, so tokenless
There's
Whisper.
Vader.
Vader coming up. He won't
Gonna
be
clear the
super
jam.
strong as well.
Going for the target lock. Whew, man, it's gonna get bloody.
It's gonna be Vader versus Whisper here, and whoever does the most damage is probably
Well,
gonna
don't
be
forget,
walking
there's
away.
another three dice shot with a focus coming in as well.
It's true. Vader's in a bit of a bind here.
I mean, that
but-
last shield is coming off with Krennic most likely.
Yeah, that's true. And quick draw coming in behind with expertise, not something you want to be messing around with either.
And both coming before any cloak is going to happen.
Fun round for Whisper Fun coming up from
Yeah.
Vanderlegion.
Vander seeing it.
It's
one.
never good when she's getting shot at before she gets the cloak.
Now this is range 1 with the target lock that adds the crit result.
That
so
is
you can see a possibility of 3 hits and a crit or worse.
And there's a natural 3
my
hits
goodness. And there it is.
there. Ooh,
This
sensor
is
jammering
not
one of
pretty.
them, and
Okay.
Vader does not have a focus, so that will be down to
2 hits
just
and a crit.
2 and a crit. But
Two dice coming.
yep.
2 green dice. Oh, why is another
hang
one
on.
got jammed?
Oh, Heaver tried to do it for him, and then Vanderlegion tried to do it as well.
Gotcha. They're good games, good sportsmen right there.
Yep. So, but he just
Helping each other out.
cancels that sensor jammed die for the shield anyway. So it really
You know,
doesn't matter.
isn't that a great thing? I mean, we talk about this all the time, but X-Wing is such a great community. You know, like you've got some of these top players, right, and they're helping each other get the modifications that they need because
Yeah,
why
even
win
even though it
if you
hurts
didn't
them in
get
the
it,
long
right?
run, yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, we got 1 evade coming out. Hang on a second though. 2 dice, 1 evade. So he's gonna be taking
hit crit.
hit crit plus the shield, so all his shields would be down. That gets scary. And like I said, every health on those Phantoms are super big.
Precious.
I mean, a loaded out Phantom is almost half your list.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 46 points for Whisper here, so...
I'll tell you what. Thank goodness for Krennic, right? I mean, you'd be taking that crit to Hull
oh yeah.
if Krennic wasn't on there. So.
But Krennic being on the other side, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah, exactly.
then you lost an extra shield. So what would have been that saving grace with that sensor jammer, no longer the case.
Yeah. And if Quick Draw does happen to destroy Whisper here, we do have simultaneous fire, so Whisper still will get to shoot.
Does get to shoot, that is true. And expertise coming into play, 2 and a crit. And only 2 dice for Whisper, so it's gonna hurt one way or another. And
no mods.
no mods, there's the 2 damage, and that is it.
Wow.
So we
Hit
do have
crit.
the simultaneous fire like you're talking about, but
That
half your
hurts.
list,
That hurts.
half
That's
your
a
list
big...
automatically gone. And
Yep.
a little bit of overkill, a direct hit flipping up from that crit.
Maybe it'll help out the
Just
Reapers later.
Kicking you while you're down. I know the feeling. Fly enough Phantoms to know it. Oh,
It's like Phantoms and Interceptors, you know. Sometimes it just takes that one turn.
yeah. So now you come into the decision point
You
where
you
it's,
gotta go for Vader here.
yeah, the 5 dice with Krennic and
Mhm.
and that enemy Krennic being such a big deal, and
Mhm.
Vader's got no tokens.
Yep. Oh man, 2 eyeballs. Gonna
2
Krennic
eyeballs.
one of them.
Well, 1 gets Krennic'd off. 2 evade
2
results,
evades.
so only 1 crit coming in.
Yep. Last shield.
So it is console fire, which can
Okay.
be cleared. Vader's got plenty of actions to use.
And for those that haven't played Console Fire,
At the
For our new
start
viewers.
of the engagement, if you haven't cleared it yet, you roll a die and possibly take a damage on a hit result. So you definitely want to be flipping that. You can chance it, but it usually bites you in the butt if you do.
Good thing for Vader, you get 2 actions every turn, so.
Yeah, he's only got to burn the 1. Now that being said, with all this jam flying around,
Yep.
that might be the only action he gets to take that means something.
That's true. That is true.
Alright, so Vader down to 2 health. So we have a Scarif base pilot gonna have a shot. Hopefully that's enough.
Yeah, if you can finish off Vader, it's not your favorite trade, Whisper for Vader, but it's at least better than nothing.
Checking out, and Captain Furrow. A little bit antsy with the Scarif base pilot, just trying to finish Vader off.
Yeah, probably wanting to get that to happen.
Alright. And 4v2 on quick draw. Dangerous place to be doing it though, because quick draw's got that ability if you blink off
range
one of
one
them shields, and you're at range 1, expertise in ranged.
You got to do it though. I mean, you just lost Whisper. You have
yeah,
to,
you need to be doing
as much
damage one way or another. You're behind the 8 ball here, and with all these small ships, you're not getting any half points in first edition.
That's right.
1 crit.
Another month and a half or so.
Not enough.
We'll see that.
And actually, quick draw is probably hoping to take that 1 shield of damage and just blast away.
Yeah, if you had Emperor Palpatine, you're calling a blank on this one.
Yeah, I've done that before. I have done that before.
All right, here's a shot on Vader here.
4v3, and we got
2 hits.
2 hits. That's not bad. Yeah, but 3 evades is going to cancel that right out.
Natural. We've seen quite a few natural rolls here.
You know, if it came down to it, I mean, Vader's probably not worth Whisper, but I mean, it's definitely not with the points. But I mean, at least the hard hitter gets off the board with that Krennic ability. Quick draw still does the bulk of the damage with expertise, but the auto damage from Krennic is scary. Although Vanderlegion is almost out of shield, so I guess that'll take a little bit of that out of the playing field.
Yeah, but you still get target lock for Vermeil. It's just it's interesting to see what happens here. Now, Vermeil can easily do 1, bank for his ailerons, and then follow that up with just a 1 sloop. I mean, that's what I see coming from him. I mean, there's or a straight aileron and then a sloop, but that sloop is happening. That'll keep guns on either of these slicers that need to come in. Do you get Vader out of there? Do you just clear him out?
I think you might. You have well, quick draw's options are a bit limited unless you start going pretty fast. You don't quite have the option of following in Vader and trying to get that double arc shot. I mean,
if you can get Vader out of there, you can reset. Clear your console fire, get your stuff ready, and then come back around. I mean, quick draw could come in and have a dream shot here if he can get in between both of those, both of those slicers, those reapers there.
Hang on just a second.
Let's see, Reapers, possibility of trying to get some bumps in here. I definitely see if they're going to keep guns on the target, they're going to need to do their ailerons forward and be able to sloop. If they do that, obviously they're not getting their slicers off, which is key to this list here. So it's kind of a. I mean, you could with let's see, is that Pharaoh on the left coming down?
Pharaoh's on the left. That Scarif base pilot has a nice opportunity here to.
No, you could stop, right? Well, no, he's got an aileron.
Yeah, I think Scarif base pilot there, ailerons either straight or to the right, and then just gets in position to jam either Vader or crit draw and ISB it to the other guy. And then Pharaoh, maybe even that 1 sloop, just to get back guns on target and keep shooting.
Let's see what happens here.
Wouldn't be a bad way to go.
We got Dilos coming down. Yeah, and
then,
you can see in the chat, you know, Paul's feeling a little bit of his pain. You know, sucked for Whisper for sure. Um, you know, just those 3 natural hits was.
But you've got to keep trying,
crazy.
and Vanderlegion saying he's going to power through and try it out. You're not going for MOV. You've got to get the win, or you're out of this one and done kind of thing.
It's finals or nothing right now, so no reason to concede just because your ace goes down.
Dials down.
Still 2-3 dice ships on the board, so it's no joke.
That's true. And we've got let's see here.
I see the 1 sloop dialed in there.
The 1 sloop dialed in did a looks like we had a 1 bank for the aileron.
Yeah, they're gonna fix
that sloop not quite clearing.
Not quite, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have gone for that. It's just a big risk, you know, trying to get guns on target. I get it, but I think that getting the double jam would have been a lot better.
And now you don't get to sloop next turn, so that's going to be a little crazy.
So now nobody's going to be jammed. Both your ships are now stressed, which is going to hurt Scarefish turnaround.
I mean, I said it. Quick Draw could have the dream shot right here. I mean,
definitely could. I mean, he's got to worry about crashing into Vader, but with expertise, I mean, at least you're still focused for your shots. You might take a bit of punishment, though, and that gets scary.
Yeah, but double shots on 2 ships that have 2 dice evades. I mean,
and
ain't bad.
Don't have to worry about the jam with Feroas anyway, because that does boost his defense. Vermeil just getting up and away and turning right around.
Yep. There's that sloop again. You're going to see this
right
all the time with Reapers. Something I learned about real quick the other day.
Yeah, that 1 sloop is actually really nice to stay in the fight, not have to go too far out. A lot of times, like Quick Draw's 3 sloop just takes you just a little too far. You start worrying about giving off that range 3 bonus, things like that, or just having to worry about things, obstacles, and other ships that are out at range. And there is the bump. So he is going for the double shot.
He's gonna get it.
And Darth Vader, just like you were saying, just I'm out. I'm gone. See ya. I've done what I need to do.
Gives you a chance to clear.
Yep.
You're not gonna get any you know, bad things happening as far as you're not gonna get sliced. So
yeah, you don't have to worry about shots, so you can take your target lock, not have to worry about that again.
Yep. Downside is going to take him another couple turns to get back in the fight. If he even wants to engage. We'll see what happens.
It is true,
and run with Vader.
Heaver's opted here to do the 4 die shot on the generic Reaper rather than the double shot. Expertise there.
He's trying to pump. Well, I mean, he's going to get 2 shots on him. I see.
He went for the extra die actually, and he's foregoing the rear arc shot.
I guess what I mean is because Vermeil's got a shot too, so he's trying to pump as much damage into that Reaper as he can.
That's true. And Vermeil can hit.
Definitely not a bad choice. It's a great choice. You know, with that decision. All right, 1 shield.
We had 1 evade result. No, no
there?
tokens. Blinded pilot. So.
Oh man.
That's. I don't know if that's good or bad for Quick Draw. You kind of want a shield to come off, so if Faro can't hit hard enough to do a shield damage, you're not going to get your second range 1 shot.
Yeah, but you know, whenever you're not shooting and you're down, man, it's just tough. I feel like that's a little.
I definitely hear you. I mean, it's just a bad place for Vanderlegion to be.
Paul Heber's feeling it too. He says the game hates you right now.
I mean, some days it feels like that. Either the dice luck or the crit flips.
Yeah.
Vermeil dialing up, going off after the same guy. And there's that
3 hits, yep.
Being able to change a blank to a hit, you know.
I was thinking about this today as we were getting ready to do the match, and I was thinking about Vermeil, and I was like, you know, it's like you have Emperor Palpatine without paying 8 points, only for attack. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's what his, and for
Or
2
or
extra
kind of
points over Furrow.
yeah.
You know, I mean, or four. Is it 4 extra points over the Scarab base? I feel like that is. I mean,
It's
that
so
is.
worth it.
It's half of Emperor Palpatine. It's like you get to use him every time on
Ooh, and
attack.
3
I don't
blanks
know.
on the defense. Yeah, it's definitely a huge ability, and I think people kind of overlooked it when the Reaper was
Mhm.
announced, but now that it's actually in play,
Mhm.
everybody's been kind of flocking towards Vermeil a bit.
Well, and you can see, like, people said at the beginning that they hate the dial.
That's true.
I don't think this dial is all that bad, to be
No,
honest, with the
I mean
amount of things you can do.
it's such
Uh,
a better ship than the Lambda itself.
oh, geez, yeah, for 1
It's
extra point. I
just a
mean,
huge upgrade.
if you're gonna go for a Palp shuttle, you're only paying 1 extra point from a Scarab base.
Yeah,
Man, I don't know. It's pretty good.
and that jam action, also
Mhm.
just being able to get in there and mess with people, that's something that the Lambda can't do.
Mhm.
I think the only reason really to go Lambda is if you need Yor in your list.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing most of the time, is we're seeing Yor with Inquisitor or something like that.
Furrow on quick draw, and just the one hit, but it goes through. That's actually bad for Vanderlegion. You want to be doing the damage, but the
Mhm.
one shield attack on quick draw, not really what you want at this point.
Well,
Need
with
to
that
be,
blinded pilot, that just made it extra rough.
and I think
Um,
that's the end of the Scarif base pilot there.
yeah, he's gonna get
We
another
got a
4
target
dice.
lock
4
and
dice.
an expertise,
Mhm.
and the rerolls, and there it
Yep.
is.
There's
It's
4
over
hits,
for
man.
him.
Yeah. So we have Captain Furrow versus the world here.
I mean, if he can get in and start jamming some guys, he'll get that.
You got Vader down to 2 health. I mean, you can maybe try to get him off the board.
And he doesn't have the boost, so he's easier to
Yep.
pin down than usual.
There's really no. I mean, if you, well, you can't aileron either, though. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
at
gonna
this
be hard
point,
to catch
it's
up
going to
to.
be a real slow round for Furrow. But he's not going to be able to catch up with Vader unless Vader wants him to on this round.
Yeah.
And Vader definitely does not want that. But
I mean, are you, if you're Vanderlegion, are you just cruising in there? You know, just 3 straight, clear the stress. I believe that's a green, right?
mm-hmm.
Am I right on that? And then, or are you gonna just slow roll, clear the stress, maybe
And
jam something? But I don't know.
I think
You could
Vanderlegion
jam
is
quick draw.
actually looking at the concession.
Yeah.
And I mean, while I would say to play it out, man, you never know. Dice could turn your way. It is a huge uphill battle, and barring some kind of divine intervention, it is not looking good for Furrow there.
Yeah. If he had maybe 8, you know, if Paul had about 8 blinded pilots in the deck, and they happen to come out, I think he'd be in good shape there. But man, there's only 2. By the way, for those that are new players, for us, there's only 2 blinded pilots in the deck. But man, it's just definitely a bloody. What was that, 3rd turn? 3rd,
That
4th
was
turn there.
That was round, looks like number 4 on the counter.
Mhm.
Yeah, once Whisper went down in a single round, I mean, it kind of spells disaster, and I think it all stemmed from not being able to have that shot, taking the gamble, not cloaking, thinking that,
No
you know what, I
cloak.
think I'm in range, I think I'm just in range 3, and then you didn't get it, and now what do I do with Whisper? She's either got to attack so she can cloak, or she's got to try to escape, but both options are not the greatest. Yeah, she can go down just like anybody else.
Well, without the cloaking, being able to be out PS there, it would have been much nicer if she could have, you know, decloaked right or left, you know, on that before engaging, and then engage where she wants to, instead of taking, you know, 3 shots, or I think it was 2 shots in that one. But instead of taking both guns, you could stay at range 2 or 3, plink away at Vader.
Yeah, or even just a small bid to get the initiative, so that way you can cloak before quick draw shoots.
It's tough though. I like his build, man. I like those ISB slicers. They just
I
didn't get a
know.
chance. The Rock, that dumb mustache, man. Isn't it the funniest thing? Like I see it all the
The
time in
smallest
matches. That
rock on the map.
it's the little. I've hit that thing so many times that it's that little guy,
Hmm.
and that kind of snowballed some things there too because you didn't get both ISBs going. You know, you only had one. He had to kind of maneuver around that rock. So, um, yeah, it's definitely tough. But I like what he's thinking about as far as this goes, and a great tournament for him.
Well, either
Yeah.
way, I mean, both players all already just being where they are, being in the deep core and the top 4
Hmm.
of the deep core, I mean, showing tremendous skill. I
Huge.
mean, this is the most elite players, 10
Hmm.
players of the entire Vassal League, which has a few hundred players. So,
Hmm.
I mean, both players showing why they're there.
Hmm.
So, I mean,
And any of those little moments we just talked about, which kind of led to the game being that way, were
mhm.
small little measurements, of them not being able to make their move happen the way they
Mhm.
wanted it to. So,
I mean, a
yeah.
bit of a miscalculation when we had the Scarif base pilot came
Hmm.
up from the start, kind of came down on that rock,
Hmm.
um, and it really kind of bit into what it was able to do.
Hmm.
Plus taking the damage off of it, and it kept kind of going south. Um,
Well, on Paul's side, he played quick draw really nicely.
mhm.
Kind of moved, from the bottom left corner. His
Yeah.
other ships are taking that bottom corner, going towards the right on the bottom, and then quick draw comes up but doesn't fully commit. Like
Mhm.
you had that option to go
Yeah,
either way.
you could see he had the plan to kind of
Hmm.
flank around with quick draw,
Yep.
and quick draw's powerful enough to do it. But once he
Hmm.
saw kind of how the match was gonna get going,
Hmm.
decided to come back into formation, get grouped up
Hmm.
together, and just come in with a big power round like he did,
Yeah.
and that's what got him the match.
Hmm. Yep. So definitely well played. Congratulations, Paul, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Make sure you're here tomorrow on the stream, and we look forward to casting that match at 5 p.m. I
Right.
believe it's going to go for.
Yeah, it'll be
So.
Reinhardt and pheaver at
Hmm.
5 o'clock Pacific time in the evening. So we hope to see you then. Thank you for tuning in to the top 4 match of the Vassal League Deep Core, and we hope to see you then. I'm Sci-Fighter, joined by my brother Jeremy. Thank you so much for casting with me. Always a great time, and it was. I just keep hoping we get to do more and more of this.
Yep. Tomorrow is an iffy moment. You know why? But my hope is to be here tomorrow and get this thing rolling because I just enjoy it. It's great. It's great doing it with you. And so let's hope for the best and see if we can both be on tomorrow. If not, I know you guys are all in good hands with Sci-Fighter. So here we go.
All
Have
right,
a great night,
guys.
everybody.
Take it easy. Sci-Fighter out.